Aether Revolt previews continue today, and I honestly didn't think the uncommon quality could get any better in the set. I really didn't think it was possible, but oh man, was I proved wrong in the most ridiculous and aggressive way imaginable. You have no idea what we're about to jump into, so hold on to your butts. We have a bunch of crazy previews to get to. Hype City incoming. Enjoy. Aether Sphere Harvester is 3 mana for a 3/5 vehicle with flying and crew 1. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 2 energy. You can also pay 1 energy, and it gains lifelink until end of turn. Whoa. What a way to start the day. 3 mana for a 3/5 that only takes crew 1, and it comes with 2 activations of a lifelink granting ability, and it has flying. In Limited, this is going to be a powerhouse. No idea how you can keep up with something like this, especially if it drops turn 3 and is active turn 4. This thing is huge. And has flying. Honestly, this is one of the better wares for Limited, like, in the set, for sure. As long as you can crew it, it is devastatingly powerful. Cogwork Assembler is 3 mana for a 2/3 artifact creature assembly worker. Hey, it's an assembly worker! That's awesome. You can pay 7 mana and create a token that's a copy of target artifact. That token gains haste. Exile it at the beginning of the next end step. Okay, the uncommon quality off the charts. An ability like this can be devastating in the long game, especially since it doesn't have to target any artifact you control. It just says target artifact, so you can go ham on your opponent's artifacts. That's disgusting. At least we know one thing for sure. Self-Assembler is going to have some powerful friends to grab. Everything is coming together nicely. Okay, this thing is stupid. Hope of Ghirapur is 1 mana for a 1/1 legendary artifact creature Thopter with flying. Yes, I said legendary creature Thopter. Anyways, you can sacrifice it, and until your next turn, target player who is dealt combat damage by Hope of Ghirapur this turn can't cast non-creature spells. What? Is this for real? Okay, let's back up. First, we get a legendary creature Thopter. We could just stop right there. We really could. That in and of itself is extraordinary, amazing, and wonderful. But not only that, not only do we get a legendary Thopter, but we also get this crazy hate bear stupid ability that lets us choke our opponents off of non-creature spells when we poke them in the face. That's amazing. And it triggers Revolt when you sack it, because why not? So clearly we're talking commander here. This is the first colorless non-Eldrazi commander we've had in some time. New goal. Get 21 commander damage with Hope of Ghirapur. Challenge accepted. I don't even know where to begin building this deck, but oh baby, I basically have to now. Hilarious. Treasure Keeper is 4 mana for a 3/3 artifact creature construct. When it dies, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a non-land card with converted mana cost 3 or less. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost. Put all revealed cards not cast this way on the bottom of your library in a random order. Alright. This is pretty close to Cascade if Cascade were a death trigger, right? I mean, it's pretty close. Guaranteeing you a free spellcast on death, it replaces itself pretty nicely. Decent cost, obviously limited playable because, well, this entire set is, if we're being completely honest. I really like Treasure Keeper. It's another solid uncommon to add to the set. Solemn Recruit is 1 of anything and 2 white for a 2/2 dwarf warrior with double strike and revolt. At the beginning of your end step, if a permanent you controlled left the battlefield this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on the Recruit. Solemn Recruit is a nice push for standard for white revolt cards. 3 mana for a 2/2 with double strike is already something that I may pay a little attention to. That revolt trigger potentially pumping it up on each of your turns, that isn't so bad. If you can reliably trigger revolt and protect the Recruit, it's going to do some real damage. The problem, however, is that it's incredibly susceptible to removal, and if you can't reliably trigger revolt, this is going to fall behind fast on the ground. As long as white can put together some nice revolt triggering, I do not hate this card. Gifted Aetherborn is 2 black for a 2/3 Aetherborn vampire with death touch and lifelink. Wait, what? Are you serious? Wizards of the Coast, a subsidiary of Hasbro. Are you serious? You decided that now was the right time to print a flightless vampire Nighthawk? Really? Okay, that's it. The set doesn't even make sense. I can't even imagine what I'm going to write for our limited review videos. This is just complete chaos. This whole set, the whole limited format that's about to happen, maybe even standard, do you see this thing? For 2 mana. This is unbelievable. This is ridiculous. Ravenous Intruder is 2 mana for a 1/2 gremlin. You can sacrifice an artifact, and it gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Hey, Wait a minute, what are you doing there, Gremlin? Are you fiddling with that soul ring? Oh, bad Gremlin, you so bad. This is Atog all over again, but way cuter and full of more shenanigans. Oh, Ravenous Intruder, you pesky scamp. Heroic Action is 2 mana for an instant. Permanents you control gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. At first glance, you might not think the spell deserves its rarity, but it definitely does. This is the ultimate catch-all. Hexproof and indestructible on permanents you control. Not non-land permanents, not just creatures, everything. This includes enchantments, tokens, artifacts, planeswalkers. We're talking about the widest net possible. Which is ironic because in the art Ajani is wrecking a net, but you understand what I mean. This card, crazy strong in any creature-based deck or artifact-based deck that's looking for reliable protection. Trust me, it deserves to be a rare. Just all permanents? That is insane defense. Hidden Herbalists is 2 mana for a 2/2 human druid with Revolt. When it enters the battlefield, if a permanent you controlled left the battlefield this turn, add 2 green mana to your mana pool. Herbalists? Meet Burning Tree Emissary. Emissary, meet the Herbalists. Both of you meet fetch lands, and more. How is this not going to be amazing? You can just keep pooping out 2 mana 2/2s. That's the dream, right? Just an onslaught of bears, just all the bears. Bears for days. I think I have to make this deck work. It's the bears. Maverick Thopterist is 3 of anything, 1 blue and 1 red for a 2/2 human artificer with Improvise. When it enters the battlefield, create 2 1/1 Thopter tokens with flying. This is great! It brings with it 4 power, 2 of which has evasion, and you can pay for it with your existing artifacts to cheapen it by quite a bit. Especially in Limited, this is certainly going to see consistent play. You can never underestimate the power of flying 1/1s. Again, ask our new legendary Thopter friend. It'll set you straight. This is a good card, solid for the set. Renegade Wheelsmith is 1 of anything, 1 red and 1 white for a 3/2 dwarf pilot. Whenever it becomes tapped, target creature can't block this turn. Yes please. The perfect card for this limited format. Decks are going to slide right into red-white vehicles, and they are going to die for this card. Not only do you get the trigger from attacking, but you also get it from crewing vehicles. That's so dirty. I love that synergy. We're looking at a card akin to Goblin Heel Cutter, but 1 mana cheaper and synergizes with cars. I will take it. I will take this all day. Spire Patrol is 2 of anything, 1 white and 1 blue for a 3/2 human soldier with flying. When it enters the battlefield, tap target creature an opponent controls. That creature doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. Say hello to Liev's Sky Knight with a bigger cost and a bigger butt. The Sky Knight was absurd and limited during our TR block, and Spire Patrol will be no different here, even with the increased cost. 4 mana for a 3/2 flyer with tempo ruining upside? There is no way I'd pass that up. These uncommons. I feel like I'm a broken record, but come on, this is out of control, right? We also got to look at some exclusive Planeswalker deck cards from Aether Revolt. Now these are a part of the set, but you can only get them from the Planeswalker decks. Ajani's Aid is 2 of anything, 1 green and 1 white for an enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, you may search your library and or graveyard for a card named Ajani Valiant Protector, reveal it and put it into your hand. If you search your library this way, shuffle it. You can also sacrifice the enchantment and prevent all combat damage a creature of your choice would deal this turn. Sacrificed effect is alright. Another tutor for the Planeswalker Ajani, like the Kaladesh Planeswalker deck. Pretty standard all around, except for the fact that Therese Nielsen did this amazing artwork. It's honestly a shame it's stuck in the Planeswalker deck. That is a beautiful card. Ajani's Comrade is 2 mana for a 2/2 elf soldier with trample. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you control an Ajani Planeswalker, put a +1/+1 counter on the Comrade. If only we had Ajani Caller of the Pride again, this might actually be intriguing. As it stands, the Planeswalker deck is the perfect place for this. In the Tezzeret Planeswalker deck, Tezzeret's Betrayal is 3 of anything, 1 blue and 1 black for a sorcery. Destroy target creature. You may search your library and graveyard for a card named Tezzeret Master of Metal, reveal it and put it into your hand. I gotta say, liking this way more than Ajani's Tutor. I'd much rather have a kill spell than a super situational combat trick. I think Tezzeret got the better end of the deal this time around. Planeswalker decks do look interesting though. Hopefully they end up being good. This is the last day of individual previews as the entire set comes out tomorrow. We've seen a ton of crazy stuff in the set, and I have to say after 4 days of previews, this might be the most hyped set we've had in a while. If we're talking limited play alone, Aether Revolt looks beyond fun. So much power at lower rarity, great card design, everything seems spot on. So what do you think? Is this set shaping up to be what you want? Are you going to play limited? Bring anything for standard, commander, modern even? I'd love to know what you're thinking, so please leave your thoughts below and we'll talk about it. This set has me all kinds of excited. Also be sure to tune into the channel over the weekend for our world famous, not really, Best of the Rest series where we talk about the rest of the cards from the set not spoiled individually. As always, thanks for watching and we'll see you next time. This video is brought to you in part by TCGplayer.com. This is the last day of individual spoilers, but as sure as heck won't be the last day I remind you to pre-order Aether Revolt if you haven't already. If you intend on getting a box or two and you don't have a local game store, or your store is charging way too much, TCG Player has your back with boxes costing $92 right now, this second. You need them, this link has them, get your Revolt fix ready before the set releases. Enjoy.
What?